Hi guys. Today is October 9th, 2015, and it's been 3 years and 1 week since I started tea. Um, got some changes happened since I made my last video in June. The house has finally sold. It's in the process right now, and it's supposed to close on October 30th. There have been some glitches. Uh, the inspector found some problems that needed to be fixed, and so we have done those, and now the appraiser is going to come back in and reappraise it. Hopefully it'll go through. I would like to think it will, because it has been a long haul, and I'll have to say it's been one of the most unpleasant things I've ever gone through. All of the legal and the paperwork and just a hassle. Um, because the house is going to sell now, I can go ahead and proceed with the divorce. I am doing the divorce myself through an online program where, instead of paying a lawyer, for instance, it's $250 just to walk into their office the first time. And then after that, for what they call a discovery process, it's anywhere from $1,500 to $4,500. So the online program is $299, and then past that, all I have to pay is the court fee to submit. And so I'm doing that. And now that the house is going to sell, it's basically a very simple, uncontested divorce. So it's really pretty straightforward. This program I'm using, you basically just go through and answer the questions. They have the forms, and what they do is they have lawyers that are checking it, making sure you've got all the answers done right, all of them done, etc., etc., and so that things don't get hopefully glitched up too badly. And then it's 90 days to 6 months before it's finalized. Um, so hopefully, if I start it end of October, somewhere in 2016. Um, I I joined a choral group, a men's and women's choral group in Port Townsend. Now that I'm a baritone, which is pretty cool, I'm looking forward to it, and I've made some new friends from the group already. It's still in the organizational phase, getting it started. We haven't actually started rehearsals or anything like that. It's just laying the groundwork down. Plus, apparently they want to do oh, not a charity, but oh God, an organization where we can take in, uh, boy, I'm doing great this morning, donations and such. And so we have to have a bylaws and board of directors and all of that. A lot of legal work, but and the the man who is heading it up, Richard, he has done this many times before, and he has great plans for it. We're talking anywhere from going from little venues performing to all the way up to some very large venues all over the Olympic Peninsula, the North Olympic Peninsula. So that's kind of exciting. Um, my initial, still my thoughts are I want to make friends, and if I can get to sing in the meantime, that's great. I also started, oh God, there goes with the runny nose again. I had to do this last time. It runs a lot. Um, I joined a transgender support group. Finally have one here on the peninsula. It's very small. It's over in Port Townsend. And it's mostly women. Last night I was the only adult male. There was one young male who had not transitioned yet. He's just starting. And but there's several women that they've they one lady transitioned 15 years ago, and she's got a lot of experience with a lot of the various organizations in Seattle and such, and medical stuff, and she's in the process of trying to get some of the health care over here that we need, that we don't have access to now. Over here, it's pretty sparse. It's very bad. And so I've met some nice people already with that. And then after the meeting, I went over to the choral meeting afterwards. They're both on the same night, of course. I went out to dinner with Richard and his partner Walter, and that was nice. Had a nice evening, lots of laughing, joking, good stuff. Let's see. I I was having some. I started seeing. I went to Jefferson Mental Health Group. It's a government run agency. I did that because in Port Angeles they have a similar community health care, but they don't take insurance except Medicare and Medi-Cal, so they wouldn't take me. There's nobody over there in a private practice, no one here in Squim. I was getting anywhere from no, we're not taking any new patients. No, we don't take your insurance. We only treat patients from age 8 to 18. I don't know. Yeah. Um, Various things like that. I just couldn't find anyone. And also, there's kind of a new thing going where the therapist, the psychiatrist, is no longer the therapist and the prescriber for medications. You now have to have a separate therapist and prescriber, someone that. So now you've got to have two people. That's twice the money. So the thing of going over to Jefferson was, number one, they would take me, and number two, they have a separate medication. She's a psychiatric nurse that does medications, and then they have the therapist. And they accept my insurance, and they work on a sliding scale. So I've started that. And one of the good things is Elaine, who is the medication specialist, she immediately identified me. I've always been diagnosed as bipolar and PTSD, but she also identified me as ADD, which no one had ever said to me before. And I got to thinking about it. Yeah. She says the good thing is it's probably why you've achieved so much, because ADDs are very driven and attention detail and obsessive compulsive. And if you want to use the anal word, so that was good to know, that knowing what's going on with myself, it allows me to know more about myself and deal with it. She checked, they've got me on lithium. One of my meds, they have me on Lamictal and also on lithium. And she ran a test on my lithium, and apparently it has to be within a certain range in your body, or it doesn't work. Either it's not enough to work, or if it's too much and just being wasted. Well, she tested me, and the dosage I was on was too low. So they doubled my medication, tested me, and I was still too low. So they've increased my dosage, and then they're going to retest me in another 2 to 3 weeks. So I already feel good about that. Also, my physician, he tested my testosterone level, and it was just off the chart. So I've been having real problems with aggression and rage and just, you know, and so he dropped my dosage. I was taking 60 milligrams a week, and he made me wait 2 weeks to take the next dosage, and the next dosage at only 40. So I've been on 40 for about 3-4 weeks now, and that dramatically decreased the anxiety, the aggression, the rage, the anger. So it's like, thank you. And that plus the increase in the lithium, they're going to hopefully get me stabilized. And so there's that going on. Let's see, what else? Pull on glasses so I can see what I'm doing. I'd mentioned last time about rock climbing, how much I enjoyed it. I was just really going for it. Right after that, I did something to my left big toe. I have no idea what I did. It just all at once, the joint, it was painful. I couldn't hardly move it up that way, and it was just really painful. Well, in rock climbing, you use your toes and your feet inside the holes, the foot holes. There's no way. There was no way I could climb. So I had to quit, and I haven't climbed since because the toe has gotten better, but it's still not well. So that's been, oh gosh, many months now. So that's gone, which I really miss because I really loved it. My work, I don't think I mentioned it at the time, but my work has been decreasing over the last 2-3 years. When a customer sells, a lot of the new people, the new owners, don't want a gardener. They want to do it themselves. And in the past, it had always been when someone sold, I got the new customer. You know, they saw how nice the yard was, and they just had me continue. It hasn't happened, so I've lost a huge amount of work. I'm to the point right now where I can't make enough to support myself, and I don't know what's going to happen. Usually in the past, during the summer months, I could really, really stick the money away to get me through the winter because there's no work in the winter, and I was hardly making it through the summer. So now I don't know what's going to happen. I'm looking at maybe having to get a job somewhere, working for someone else, which I don't like to do. I really don't. And so that's my biggest stress right now, is what's going to happen with that. I've tried to decrease my spending just as much as possible. I've quit eating out because, I figured it out. As much as I love to do that, go out every now and then and get a bite to eat, that was a place that I could cut my money. And my heat. When I first moved in last February, the first month I got my bill and it was $170. No, $107. $107 for this place, and it's not that big. And I know that during that time I could feel like the heater forced air would kick on and off and on and off, and it'd either be too hot, too cold, too hot, too cold. And sure enough, when I got the bill, I thought that something's inefficient. That's what's happening. I checked. I've got a little fireplace, which I've got the flue shut and the doors closed. And I rechecked it, and it is closed. And I took the floor registers, vents, shut them down completely, put pieces of carpeting over each one in each room, and the next month my bill was $42. So I made the I chose to not turn on the heat again. So if you notice, I'm in a lot of layers because it's getting cold. It's getting down into the 50s at night, and so that means it's in the high 50s, low 60s in the house at night. So I bundle up, um, end up with a ski cap on and everything else, and a parka. The one place I night it's comforters and lots of blankets, and the one place I did buy a little heater, little bitty guy that I can put in the bathroom for when I take a shower because it's cold. You know, you're already cold. You go from being bundled up to stripping down completely in this cold and getting in the shower, getting wet, and then you get back out and dry off. I've gotten very good at drying very fast, speed drying, and getting the clothes back on. And I thought, this is going to be a long winter. So I bought this little heater and I put it in the bathroom and I turn it on low just enough to take the chill off, just long enough for me to take my shower, get my clothes back on, then I turn it off. So that'll get me through that. The rest of the time I can get by. Um, let's see what else. Bill is moving since the place is selling. He's moving out. He renting a place, sharing a house with a lady in Port Angeles, which is, we lived way over this way and I'm here and he's way over that way. And he's going to live there until May, when his plans are to move to Montana to live with his son who lives in Los Angeles. He and his wife are moving up to Montana. You know, snow in the winter, high heat in the summer. Anyway, that's his plans. And we hired a couple ladies that do estate sales. They're going to come in. Uh, we pay them. They put together an ad in the papers, in the various papers, and they advertise. And they come in and they take all of the stuff that we've got left that we don't want, um, and anywhere from kitchen stuff to tools to everything, and they mark everything. They bring in the tables. They set everything up. They have several people in each room out in the garage so that people won't walk off with stuff. And they run this thing. And we get 65% to their 35, something like that. And then of what sells. And then whatever else is left over, they haul either to trash or to Goodwill. So that's really a load off my mind that they're going to take care of, because that's been a really hassle. I've been trying to find homes for all this stuff and selling things, and things didn't sell, and there's things I just didn't want to take to Goodwill. They were good things. So they're going to clean all that out, and then we'll go in and do a last minute vacuum and all that stuff. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Can't think of anything. So I just thought I'd kind of touch base, let you know what's going on. So I'll talk to you later at some point.